say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poet's part.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Power After Hours, your favorite power podcast. I am Jeff J, joined by Chrissy Bree, and we are here to recap Season 4, Episode 9, That Ain't Me. Y'all gotta give Chrissy her props, even though she don't want them.
I don't.
Gotta give her her proper credit and respect. 3 weeks ago, you made a prediction that I kind of hoped it didn't happen, but
Oh man,
them chickens came home to roost.
Yeah, man. You know how you just say shit and you just hope, like, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna, because I wanted to say something that was really far-fetched because you were giving far-fetched things, and I said something and it actually came true, and I'm just like, oh no.
Well, I don't remember saying too many far-fetched things, but in case you missed the episode, Chrissy accurately predicted that Raina would probably die as a result of some stupidness that Tariq did, and that's exactly what happened.
I mean, right? I'm like, well, I just felt like the entire season they were kind of setting us up for something to happen. I felt like if it happened to Tariq, we were all expecting it. So,
and some people wanted it.
Kept coming in behind him, seeing what he was doing, telling him he was messing up. And it just, to me, it felt like they were just making it known that Raina wanted to clean up his mess. And, you know, as that scene happens, the last thing we hear her say is, "My dad's going to kill you." And it's just terrible that had to be her last moment. It just felt like they were setting us up for that. Tariq would have been it was just too obvious. We all are tired of him. We all want him to die like we want Angie to die, which means they're probably never going to die because they want us to be tortured. So it just felt like it was Raina's turn, and unfortunately it turns out to be that.
I like the way Raina went out because, you know, hearing people talk about Raina and the kids and how they were portrayed or even utilized throughout the last 4 seasons. Raina's always been the naive, optimistic kid where she was sheltered. They were able to shelter her until this season from all of the things that they were doing in the shadows. And the minute she found out, I would argue that she handled it better than Tariq.
Yeah, I agree.
Because Tariq went down a path of violence and crime, and Raina was just fed up. And Raina wanted to go. But I think this death is going to change all of the characters
it changes
on the show.
Everything.
But especially Tariq.
Yeah.
His sister died because of him and because of his choices. He treated his sister like shit. Mm-hmm. And his sister, faced with losing her life, stood up for her brother, threatened a dude that was threatening him, and let him know it's not going down like that. That's my brother. Our family's not to be played with, and you're going to have problems. If you couldn't blame her for acting another way or turning the other eye just because of how Tariq treated her. Tariq put hands on her, bruised her up.
He did. He bruised her up, man.
Constantly cursed her out, kicked her out the room, called her all types of names. She even afforded him an exit strategy that she wasn't even able to partake in, with the going to Choate school, where he got in, and for whatever reason, she didn't. So she did all of that, and because of his decisions, she died. So he's going to have to reconcile with that for however long he's on the series. He's going to have to reconcile with those choices, and the whole family gets turned upside down.
Yeah, I think it changes the family dynamic. It changes the individual characters' dynamic. Like you said, I think it's definitely going to change Tariq, but I think we are going to see the biggest change in Ghost/James St. Patrick. That's where I think everything is going to just completely turn on its head. Like, because he's fought all these seasons to be James St. Patrick, and if you know anything about Ghost, if you've seen the way he acts around his children, his soft spot is for Raina. he always, baby girl, what do you need? Baby girl, what can I do? What can I, you know what I mean? Like he's always taking care of her, whatever she needs. I think this is going to completely change the man we know as James St. Patrick. And I think we're also going to actually see a deeper Ghost. We're going to see some gritty shit going down in this season finale and probably the next season to come.
On the after show for Powers, when they speak to Courtney Kemp about different things that go on, one thing that she brought up was how, and I believe it was her, that Ghost now has to come face to face with his choices too. Because Raina wouldn't have been dead if he wasn't Ghost.
Yep. It all comes back to him.
It's all full circle. And to an extent, Tasha too. Because when Ghost wanted to get out the game, Tasha laughed him off, scoffed at it, and told him he was an idiot and to keep doing what he does well. So those
Which is
parents,
funny that now she wants to be all clean.
Right,
whatever.
right. When the grass is green on the other side, you don't see the charges for mowing it.
Okay, like I'm like,
you know what I'm saying?
Nah.
You don't see the charges for the upkeep. You don't see the charges for mowing that lawn. You don't see any of that. All you see is green grass.
HOA, you don't see nothing. Like,
right.
I feel like everything that you're saying, we're going to hear come out of Tasha's mouth, because Tasha is like, she doesn't really take accountability for anything that she does. She likes to put it all on the things that Ghost has done as to why, you know, they've ended up this way. You know, you left me. You know what I mean? Like you left our family. Da da da. She never takes into account like what the role that she played in that. So I think you're going to see her blame Ghost for everything that has happened. If he had never slept with that broad, would we be here right now? I think it's going to be her angle in it. And that's what's going to turn him into the monster that we're going to see coming up.
Did you know Raina and Tariq were twins?
Yes. Remember, we had this discussion on a podcast. I think it was season 1 or maybe beginning of season 2.
It had to be 2 because we started it season 2.
I think season 2. Well, something was said, and it was a big joke that you and I made because we had no idea they were twins, and we were like, "Yo, they just kind of popped this in on us." We had a whole episode laughing about it on the podcast. So, yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to my guy Dorian for bringing that up to me, cousin D. Because I told, and I even said, we've probably brought this up before, but your memory is way longer when it comes to our podcast than mine. So that's why. Many. Yeah, right. They
I'm being nice.
You download it from my mind, and it's all one podcast of everything I've ever said in my life.
It's like, oh,
right. I'm like
Defenders. Da da da. Yeah, you. Like we definitely mentioned it in one of our podcast episodes because I think it was the grandmother that said something about them being twins, and we were like, "What? Wait, were they twins?"
We're like, "Word? Since when?"
What? So yeah, they are twins, which I think is going to impact Tariq even more, like you said, because that's like his other half. A lot of people that are twins, they always say like they feel like they are, you know, physically connected to their person. So. The tear that dropped out of his face when he ran to Raina, that shit looked so real. I was like, I don't know what they did to make him cry, but that looked very, very authentic. That was a great, great scene by him, I think.
Internet is always undefeated. Did you see the going home flyer for Raina?
I'm not doing this. Are they?
Yeah. I gotta say. Matter of fact,
who's bringing the potato salad? Are
right.
we there?
Yeah, I'm gonna send this to you while we're on because you need to see this. But yeah, of course, and I'm kind of tight because nobody made one. We didn't make one for Julio. Julio definitely deserved one.
Julio deserved it, bro. But he just you know, he's not. A lot of people don't care for Julio because he wasn't really prominent, but. If you respect the show, you respected what Julio brought to it. So, yeah.
I mean, he was more prominent than Raina.
But Raina had such a big role in this season. Like
this
it was
season.
Like she was I can't with this homegoing fly.
Look at where the service is being held.
Big Ridge Town Church of God in Christ.
50
Lobos
South
Memorial
Lobos
Avenue.
Memorial Ave.
Okay. All right. Who is an undercover liar who lies under the cover shall perish under the wall of. Let me tell you something. People are stupid. This should be what you use for the podcast because this is genius.
Oh yeah, no, this is gonna be my cover photo for sure. This is definitely gonna be my cover photo. The sunrise is June 7, 2014, episode 101, sunset. August 19, 2017, episode 409.
May she rest in peace, Raina. May you rest in peace. Somebody was ready with this flyer, honey. This looks very real out of one of my churches. Like, seriously. Good Lord.
Right. I almost stood up and started fanning myself the minute I saw it.
Real. I mean, you got the video of my son praise dancing. It can go right with that, too.
Oh, yes. Yes. I forgot when Noah became Noah Jakes.
Yeah, man. He's blessed. He's blessed.
What was I gonna say? Did you see the dancing, the joint with Don Shia, the actress that plays Raina, doing like a rap performance outside? And someone said, anytime you see the actors rapping at the beginning of a season, you know that they're going to die.
It's over, bruh. I just feel so bad. I just really never. I mean, I know I just didn't want this to happen for her because she was just. I felt like she was just such a. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, she was so not loyal. She was pure.
Pure,
if that makes
genuine.
sense. She was very pure. Probably the purest character we have on the show. So to see her go, it kind of tells me we're going to go really dark in this finale, and probably next season it's going to be dark because who else do we have? You know what I mean? Like, it was just maybe the little girl that we never see.
Yasmin.
Yasmin. I don't even know her name because she's not there enough.
The real ghost.
The real ghost. I don't know her. But yeah, I hate that it had to be you, sis. But, you know, she played her role well this season.
I'm just waiting to see how dark Ghost is going to get, because the season finale looked like they going after Ray Ray. They going after Ray Ray heavy.
Back up with Tommy. Oh,
right. And Tommy's coked up Tommy now. So, you know, Tommy don't give no fucks. Coked up Tommy is shoot first, shoot second, shoot third, ask what the fuck later.
If he even asks.
If he even asks.
Because he's not going to remember. That's the crazy part. Like, Tommy, like, and you know, the scene with him and Ghost where he headbutts Ghost, I was like, okay, Tommy has officially lost it.
That was
like,
hilarious, by the way.
He was like, man, remember the last time you did this to me? I still got the scar.
Yo, if headbutting your friends gets you a check, I'm about to headbutt all you motherfuckers out there.
Run me my check, though. Run me my check.
But you could tell Ghost knows how he is when he's under the influence. So he just cut that check and kicked them out the house. But the thing about Tommy, Tommy's so impulsive, but he has so many different layers to him. It's not even funny. And I think Joe Sikora, the actor that plays him, he exudes it well. You got a dude who on one hand is pissed because his mother manipulated him and withheld information on his dad. You think about how important that has been to him, to the point where he lost it when he found out he actually did receive his last name. He was bequeathed the last name by Teresi, and Teresi was at the hospital, and she decided no. And I feel Kate why, because it was obvious that he wanted a son. The wife couldn't give him kids, so they had an illegitimate baby. And Teresi's like, "Oh, don't worry, we'll raise him," as if, and probably somehow usher Kate out of the picture and just have him as a step kid for his wife. And Kate didn't want that to go down. So those are complicated situations where I feel the mom on that 100%. But at some point, you gotta be real. You gotta be real with the kid.
Why lie and say he's dead, though? That's the thing. Like, you took it too far. You didn't have to do that, because every person knows a son. You know, you need your father. At any point, even if you said he's not a good person, I don't want you to know him right now. Wait till he's a full-blown adult to let him make that decision for himself. But Tommy is like, what? Almost close to 40 at this point of the show. So it's like you told his man that his father was dead. This is somebody who now is thinking, what person would I have been? She was like, he's a murderer. And he's like, I'm a murderer.
Yeah. She's like, he's a criminal and a murderer. I'm a criminal and a murderer.
Oh shit, Tommy is one. He's on one. Like, the thing with Tommy is when he's on drugs, it's a scary situation. And now he wants to know his family. So I really honestly don't know where that's why I say I think the next season is going to be focused around his character more than anybody else. But I hope he gets off the drugs, because now he's lost everything. He's lost his drugs. He's lost his crew. What does he have?
No one knows. And that's what I'm saying. He on one
Keisha?
hand, he don't got Keisha. He don't got Keisha. Lee don't got Keisha, and we saw that because for the same dude who hates being manipulated and hates disloyalty, tries to manipulate Keisha to get what he needs once Dre and Cristobal burned the warehouse up, which I was giving Dre props for his machinations behind the scenes, but you would think he burns the warehouse and all the drugs, $1 million of drugs. Why wouldn't you take the drugs out?
Take the drugs out.
Like he went full measure for no reason.
Like, that's what I was wondering. I was like, man, why would you burn? It's not like there's going to be any evidence. Maybe he doesn't want anything to trace back to him. Maybe that's the thing. But it's like, bruh, take the drugs. What were you thinking? Like, that was the dumbest move, I thought, of the whole thing. I would think, Yeah,
only thing that I could think of is he probably figured if he just popped up with drugs and gave them to the Primeras after they would eventually leave Tommy, then questions would arise. Are you the new Connect? Are you the new Tommy? And it would just be too much. He could have held it and then sold it back and then found a way to flip that, go to the Connect and let them know, yo, I got the drugs. This dude was about to let them go up and smoke. You need to let me be in charge. Or something wild like that. That would have been next level. If you think about it, that would have made Dre super ill because he would have been playing chess with two of the top drug lords on the show, which might have been out of his airspace, but it would have been cool to watch. But seeing Tommy having to go to everyone just to try to get clean money to buy these drugs back, he coked up Tommy, super manipulative. That scene with Keisha, it was telling and it was hilarious. That when he see there, it's like, yo, you walking mad fast. What is Loving Hip Hop on already?
I know when you said, I knew that was gonna get you. I said Jeff is gonna have a field day with
Dude,
that line.
Do you understand why it's like it's so hilarious and problematic for him to say at the same time? Because if you ever you listen to how people talk about some of the pitfalls of interracial dating and how for black women will say white guys will sometimes go too far with the stereotypes and stuff like that, and they'll be ignorant to it. So him calling out the love and hip hop, Tommy's been down, quote unquote, enough for him to say that, but I just laugh because that's just like, yo, that's wildly appropriate, especially you hitting it and you don't call her and you brush her off. And then the hip hop line, I just thought it was funny. It was like funny in a way, like she probably looking at him like, oh, love and hip hop. Like I couldn't be going on to see something else, but just the joke that he used to try to pull her in.
I know. I was like, wait a minute, Tommy, what? And I watched part of the after show last night as well, and I saw the title of the episode, how it came into play with all of the characters,
right?
How it was something that Tommy, Teresi, and now Keisha have said, all in desperation type moments. And hearing Keisha, that was actually the best I've seen Lala act in a while. As I've said before, I'm not a big fan of her acting. But that scene was pretty good. It was believable. Let me just say that. But I feel like in that moment, she wants Tommy. She really, really cares for Tommy, because why shed the tears? But at the same time, now she has to protect herself and her business. So I understand that scene and how hard it was for her. I thought that was really, really well done.
I felt that emotion when she was blacking out on him. Because I feel like dudes at some point in time have gone through a variation of that, maybe less intense, maybe more intense, but it might have been triggering for a lot of dudes the way she was blacking out on him. But you got to understand, she even said, that ain't me. I ain't the type of woman to just give it back up to you. She said, just because the dick is good, you think I'm going to just drop everything and forget why I wasn't messing with you and forget everything that you did. That ain't her. But with Tommy, this is who he is. He is the dude who wears his emotions on his sleeve. He's wild, mercurial. He can be hot and cold at any moment. When he needs to get what he wants, he will manipulate you. Even if it isn't malicious, that's what he does. this is what Tommy does, and that's who he is. And Keisha was able to see that and keep him at arm's length.
Yeah, I love that. I love that she was able to do that. I don't know what more her character really can bring to the show, though. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm struggling with her character, because I'm like, okay, you don't want anything to do with Tommy. You don't want anything to do with that side of the business. Do you really have a role in this show at this point?
Well, that's as Tasha's business partner to go clean, quote unquote. That's the only way.
Now,
if
what's
that
happened
happens,
to Raina, we don't know. Like, that's the thing. We don't know how this is going to impact Tasha. Will Tasha say, you know what, F this life. I can't be with you. Look what you've done to our family. Look what you've done to our life.
You got a what, Chrissy? Sorry, you timed out.
I was saying, is this going to make Tasha, go full blown? I want nothing to do with you. I can't be with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking my kids to protect my family. Or is this going to bring her closer to Ghost? Like, go after the man that killed my daughter and save our family type situation. We don't know which way Tasha's going to go with this.
Right.
It could drive her to Silver. It could drive her away from Silver.
And this whole situation that Dre has orchestrated, you could tell Dre is going for the gold.
Oh, yeah.
He's going for the gold now. When he ordered that hit on Kanan, that's when I said, I don't know if he's feeling himself or he's just that close to the finish line that he just wants to end it all. He wants to get there right now. Kanan was pressing him the whole episode, and they made it so that, okay, he got that help from Cristobal. Yeah, we're going to burn down the warehouse, and now we're going to take care of everything. So that way, he takes care of Tommy on that side. He takes care of Kanan on the other side. And all that's left is for him to assume power. And I like what he said when he was talking to Cristobal about it, when he just he basically said, they all think I'm naive. They think I'm this young boy, and I'm going to show them I could be a bigger drug dealer than any one of them. And he's been able to use that naivety throughout the inception of him on the show. He's been like the unassuming kid who just wants to be in the game. But now you see he had more ambition than even we knew.
Yeah.
And he's going for it. He wants to be on top, and that hit on Kanan, I mean, what's the worst that could happen, right? Kanan survives, and he knows he has an enemy already. I don't think Kanan's going to give him enough words to be like, yo, it wasn't me. But, yeah, shout out to Kanan Bourne, by the way.
What the fuck was that? I was like, nigga, dodging knives, dodging guns. Like, he was like lit. He had the power. Him dude up by the neck. I was like, okay, Kanan been working out in that little granny house. Like, he is lit. He was ready for the cause. He knew. I mean, the thing about, if you're going to order a hit on somebody of Kanan's stature, you really better come correct. You sent two little puny dudes who probably have never really done this before to kill a man who ran the drug game for many years. Like, that was the dumbest move, I think, by Dre. Yeah, it's smart to hire the hit, but you better hire like at least 15 people to ensure that nigga goes down dead. Ghost thought he killed him too, let's not forget. So if you're going to send two guys to do the job, send two right guys. Like, Dre's not really making the best decisions, if you ask me. You leave the drugs, and then you send these two dudes to kill Kanan. Nah. You got to do better than that.
Kanan survived the fire. You think he ain't going to survive a couple of knives? I don't know why they didn't bring guns. Like, that was very shocking to me.
And
but
I'm like, two people? That's it? I kept saying, okay, maybe somebody's going to come from the cut. Like, you sent one person to walk down some steps. Like, Kanan is just not dumb. As much as they may think he is because of the decisions he types to make, he's not that guy. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to know that you got a plan against him. He probably already has his guard up because of the whole Ghost situation. I don't think he'll think that Ghost sent somebody to kill him, because I think he's going to look at those dudes and know Ghost would do a better job than that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't think he's going to think it was Ghost, because like Ghost said, they both need each other, because if one goes down, the other goes down. So I don't think it's going to be Ghost, especially when he hears that Raina was killed. It's going to be a whole different ballgame. I wouldn't be surprised if Ghost teams up with Kanan.
Oh, so we get the buddy cop film again in the season finale?
I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, I wouldn't. If they somehow team up to find Ray, it wouldn't surprise me.
At this point, some of the stuff the show does, it doesn't really surprise me either.
Right.
I'm just saying that scene where Kanan was fighting, I swore he was what's my man, Matt Damon. I thought it was Jason Bourne. Like, dude, like when he opened the door and slammed the door to catch the dude in the front, I was like, oh, here we go. I was just expecting him to jump from one rooftop to the next through a window.
I know, right?
To get another person. I was just laughing because I said, yo,
siege, like it was
I didn't know Kanan was an ex-Navy SEAL veteran bound for vindication for a crime he didn't commit. Like, the dude was really getting it in.
Hood.
I don't know if it was him the whole time on stunts, but it looked like a legit action movie. Like, I give it that. As ridiculous as it is from a dude from the hood to be able to pull off all those moves, it looked legit. Stunt wise,
I don't really follow 50, but I don't know his life, what he does. But if you ask me, he looks really built in that scene. Does he work out? Is he like in this fitness thing or something? Because when I was looking at the scenes, his arm was like, it looked like he had the muscles of freaking The Rock. So if it wasn't him in the scene, they got somebody really stacked to do it. Right. But it looked real, like you said.
I mean, he's a naturally big dude. Like, he's like a stocky dude. Like, he's probably, we're around the same height. He might have like an inch on me.
Which, by the way, I did not know you were that tall. When I met Jeff, I was like, wait a minute. I thought.
And it's funny enough that mad people think I'm short, like wild short. And I'm like, do I give off a short vibe?
Coming into the car, I was like, why can't he fit in my front seat? Like,
yeah, she was like, I might be able to fit him in the glove compartment. I'll be straight.
He was so tall. I didn't understand what would happen. I was like, did you grow on the plane? Like, what happened?
Yeah, I actually had my growth spurt on the way to Atlanta. That's what happened.
It's good to know that I'm not the only one that thinks that way. I just don't think of you as tall. It was crazy.
There was a streak. There was like a streak of years where people didn't meet me and they thought I was like 5'6", 5'7", and
that's what I thought.
I had to reevaluate my aura and shit. Like, am I giving off a short man aura?
Your stances that you make, you don't look like a tall person. I guess maybe that's it. I don't know, or maybe we just prejudge, and who the hell knows?
Yeah, who knows?
But you are tall, so
yeah.
You're saying 50.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm tall. I guess I'm average height now in this era because everybody's fucking tall. Like, I'm like, damn.
That's true.
I'm like, damn, everybody's tall. Why can I get a little bit more? Like, shit. You know what I mean? But
what are you, like 6'1"?
I always say I'm 5'11" on weekdays and 6 feet on the weekends.
Okay, Jeff. That's
I can be anywhere from like 5'11" to 6 foot. But like, he's like a legit 6 feet 6'1", but he also
look at him as that tall either.
Right,
okay.
right. Just like standing up next to him, if anything, he has like an inch on me more. But he probably has about 50 pounds of muscle more than me. So he's
maybe
like,
it really
big.
Was him then, because
it could be him. It could be him for sure. Like, I wouldn't put it past him. Or the stunt doubles that they have to get for him have to be built a certain way.
It looked good. That scene, like you said, the scene was very well done. It looked very realistic. In no time was I laughing because it was 50. You know what I mean? Like, it just seemed very real.
Right.
It was very well done.
So I forgot him. Yeah. So we got Crack Tommy back. Tommy on the crack. We got Ghost, and even Ghost's legitimate stuff is at in jeopardy because
what's up with Tate?
Wait, you know what? He's a normal politician. Think about it.
Is he dirty?
It's not really dirty because you think about it like this. He being Ghost got Tate to, which was ingenious, by the way. That's a typical smart ass Ghost move to have Tate bring up a point of order for the contract. He basically saw the swindle that Stern was trying to pull with the fraudulent, whatever, the minority kickback or the minority, I want to say scholarship, but that's not it.
That's not it. It
the
was
funding,
like
the funding. Grant, like a government grant for minority business owners when he only on paper owned 51% when it's supposed to be a bigger majority. So Tate flipped it so that on paper he could have more of a stake in the company. So Tate is like, yo, it's kickbacks. He wants the kickback. And he's telling Ghost, yo, you got more money, now fund my young boy. And I get it. But that's why I was like, at first I thought to myself, damn, Tate is dirty. But is he dirty or is he just a normal bureaucrat? And this is the stuff that happens all the time. Like, is it dirty or is it just status quo?
So what if he wants him to pay? He wants him to take. Okay, because I didn't understand that scene, which is why I wanted to talk about it, because I didn't get it.
So I guess he brought the young boy on the payroll as a community liaison, and I'm doing air quotes here. He brought him on as a community liaison, but he needs to get paid. Like he's going to be salaried, but so the money ain't going to come from Tate. Him. No, he's telling Ghost to. Yeah.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So that's all that was. But that only makes me wonder what else is he going to pull, which is what I figured he would be, is someone who he wasn't 100% altruistic with his intentions to build up the community. Maybe he is majority, but he's going to get his one way or another. So, you know, God forbid he finds out who Ghost really is. Then he may really have him by the balls. And then Stern, on the other hand, is tired of Ghost outthinking him, and he may have something to pull the plug too. So Ghost, not only is he going to have to worry about his daughter's death and getting the ultimate revenge, he's going to have to balance the business side too, the legitimate business side.
We keep hearing about freaking Cantos, but we ain't seen Cantos in a hot minute. Like, you know, basically now Stern is saying, you ever wonder why Cantos disappeared, why he didn't testify against you? So now we know Stern paid Cantos off.
Right. Or just told him to chill.
Yeah, or got it, whatever he did to Cantos. We don't know. He could have had him killed for all we know. But it's just Ghost, like you said, Ghost has to figure out how to balance it. But I think in this next episode, you're going to see him not even caring about the business. Mm-hmm. I think he's really about to strap up and go take care of the man who killed his daughter.
Right.
He's about to raise hell.
Yeah. Let's see. What else? So Angela gets Sandoval's old job, which I think it's crazy to think about it, but I get it. This was the ultimate come up for her, for someone who was a whistleblower on the org, had a part in it, and ends up getting his job. That scene with her and Ghost, you still see the chemistry, but you could also see you see the chemistry, but you also see the, I can't really fuck with you anymore. I can't deny the chemistry, but I can't really fuck with you anymore. But I thought it was, her sister's hilarious anyway, when she was going at Mock. Like, I thought that was funny when she was sizing Mock up when he came in, like, oh, this dude can wear a suit. She's like, hey, Poppy, what's up?
Paz.
What's up?
Take a seat, sis.
My name is Paz.
I like they always bring her back because I like her character.
Now, Paz is lit.
Yeah.
She's like, Angie, you don't need me to stay.
No, sis. I think we're okay.
She's like, okay, I'm going home. But yeah, I like the
fact
scene.
That she got that job is lit, though.
Yeah.
Mock, though, I think he's gonna have a real gear to grind.
Right.
He looked pissed.
Right. And I thought it was even more interesting that she was considering going into business with Proctor as a defense attorney. Right. That would have been kind of dope. That actually could have been on some spinoff series shit to me.
Yeah. But I think for her, it was going to only be the money side so that she could take care of her family.
Right.
And now with this position, I think that also gives her she's going to have more money. She's also going to have the power. She doesn't have to team up with anybody. She's got it all on her own. So I'm looking forward to seeing how she handles it now. You know what I mean? With all the information that she has, everything that she's seen over the seasons, I'm looking forward to seeing how she handles that role and the things that come her way now that she's in it.
Is she going to change her methods now that she's been through all that she's been through throughout the seasons? Does she have a different perspective? Is she going to go after people now that she's in that position? It's real interesting. One thing I liked about this episode was that there was a constant theme of what if. Tommy wonders what if Teresi was in his life and he didn't get banished by Kate. Would he have really grown up to be a criminal and a murderer? Or would he have had everything he wanted and wouldn't have needed to go down the route he went? Would they have ever moved to South Jamaica? And would he have met Ghost and been on the street and did all the stuff that they did? And Ghost and Angela reminisced on when Ghost had the opportunity to go to Choate and did it.
Yeah.
And it was funny. She called them out on it and said, you told them that you didn't have that opportunity, but you actually did. And you chose to stay with your friends and go out. So would you be the same?
She said you
person?
chose to protect Tommy. You
right.
chose to stay with Tommy, which was very, I think her saying that was actually very poignant, because a lot of the things that Ghost has gone through have been to protect Tommy or to shelter Tommy, make sure Tommy's taken care of. So to know that he's really been doing that his whole life, he chose to not change his life because of Tommy, that is also going to come back at some point as well.
They've been having nothing but gripe sessions this whole season.
It's like, golly,
it's been one big gripe session, but they needed to have that out. They needed to have that out for years. So I have no problem with that. What's up? I feel like I missed something. We went over, Angie, Raina, Tariq, Tate, Kanan, Stern, Ghost, Proctor,
Tasha, Keisha.
Yeah, that might be it. Is there anything else that you think we haven't touched on?
No, man. I think that's pretty much it. I just can't believe we're at the season finale. It's like going to be season finale Sunday up in this joint.
Can I say how Sunday was stressful as fuck?
Very stressful.
This whole weekend, content-wise, was stressful as fuck. You had Defenders drop on Friday. In New York City, it's SummerSlam weekend, so there was the NXT event, SummerSlam on Sunday, Raw and SmackDown Monday and Tuesday, all in Brooklyn. So all of that was going on. Power dropped, season premiere of Survivor's Remorse. Insecure is still insecuring, and then Thrones.
Let's don't even start on that because I can't. And the fact that we're gonna have it's like next Sunday is gonna be too much for me because I can't. Like I watch Power at 8 and then I go into Thrones at 9. So this week having to deal with Raina's death, my mouth was open for like the first 10 minutes of Thrones because I was just like, no.
And I also have to send a big FU to the people who spoiled the shit because it actually got spoiled for me 2 weeks ago.
Oh no! See, I have avoided I don't get on social that much anymore. So
it got spoiled for me from people putting it in group chats.
Ooh!
But the thing was, so what happened? I saw the picture and I kind of half scrolled, but I caught it in my peripheral. But I was able to turn away enough to put doubt in my mind. And when the white lady got killed by Brains in last week's episode, I said, okay, she was wearing white. That was her. But then when I saw what Raina was wearing to the prom, I said, fuck.
You knew it was her?
I said, fuck, is it? It still affected me, but, once again, I've said it for the billionth time, I don't get what people get from spoiling. If that exhilarating feeling that you have inside your soul when you see the crushed spirits of your friends, your family, or random strangers, when you tell them something that they wanted to experience on their own, it only reflects the loser mentality that you have. You don't have friends.
We don't look at you with happiness.
You don't have friends.
Shit in my eyes.
It's just stupid. And to contrast that, I went the whole week without getting Game of Thrones spoiled. The whole week.
Yeah,
and
I didn't get anything.
The episode was out on Tuesday. I had multiple opportunities to download it. I said, you know what? I want to watch it with the timeline. That whole time, didn't get spoiled. I was able to avoid spoilers on websites, but on social, nobody was saying nothing. Nobody was saying nothing. Nobody was stressed. But now, with Power, I don't know. It just really pisses me off. But it is what it is. We got the season finale coming up this week. It's gonna be cool. I want to see where they go from that. One quick thing, I thought it was interesting that Ray killed Brains and the other dude once he found out that they botched the robbery, and now he wants to get at Tariq. And I'm thinking it's because he's a dirty cop and he doesn't want his spot blown. But gotta mention that Tariq's new girlfriend is the one who still ratted him out to Ray. You know what I mean?
He called her cuz. Are they family?
Maybe they are, but yeah, he told her.
She looked like she didn't want to do it.
Right, because she was trying to see if he was going to tell her the plan. And he did. And that's where Ray Ray made the decision, I got to shut him up because he's going to talk.
Well, then, if anything, that sends Tariq, whenever he decides to tell Ghost what happened, you know what I mean? He can let him know I was supposed to meet my girl. And that's going to really send Ghost to old girl to find out where Ray Ray could be.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem.
I don't think that's the last we've seen of that girl.
Oh, yeah, nah. It's going to be lit for sure. Sure. Anything else?
Nah, bro, that's it, man.
Yeah, it's it on our end. We got one more episode to go, and then we close the book on another season of Power. I can't wait. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be real good,
man.
It's gonna be good.
It's been a good season.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's had its ups and downs, but we married to the game, can't leave it. Married to the game, can't leave it.
This is an empire. We're still around.
Right. And it should show you the tolerance that we had, because it took a lot for me to break up with Empire. It took a lot. So
I know, because you kept wanting to go, and I was like, I don't want to. And you're like, you.
The first season was great.
You really Cersei Lannistered me. Like, you really weren't shit, but okay.
I did. I was ready with the shame bells, but I enjoyed that first season. I will never front.
Good.
I won't front. That second season was when I threw my hands up, but the first season, yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of that shit. So
yeah, it was very good. They just took it too far.
Right. Oh well.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that does it. Thank you so much for joining us. You can catch Nonstop Culture everywhere on social media at Nonstop Culture. NonstopCulture.com/subscribes for all your subscription needs. Wherever you get podcasts, you can get the Power After Hours show. Email us, powerpodcast@nonstopculture.com for all your questions, comments, reactions, or hit us up on social media. You already know. Chrissy, what's your at?
Chrissy Bree.
If you want to see the Noah Davis highlight reel,
Noah Saad, as you like to call him.
Yeah, Noah Saad, right. He's a mogul. He's an icon. He's a don. He's a praise worship leader.
I gotta record when I tell him what you say, because his face be like stoic. He has no emotion. It's like he's looking at me like, girl, just please be quiet.
He gets that from you. The ignoring Jeff, he gets that from me.
Accurate.
He gets that from you. So
that's 100% accurate.
And
good job.
I'm disgusted, but he's a beautiful kid. But yeah. You could get all of that there. I told you about the email, told you about the subscribe. Leave us a 5-star rating on iTunes, please.
Yes.
Leave us a 5-star review, please. Review us. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We got one more episode to go. I know y'all all can't wait. Do some more special stuff over here. And once again, thank you for listening. Until next time, we will catch you later.
Peace.